Alright YouTube, let's talk about focus. So, how do you develop focus? In this time we are living in, our ability to focus is pretty, in the general sense, it's pretty poor. People are always distracted by devices and stupid not so important things. Our modern age is in this sense a fucking nightmare, but we can fix this. This is more of a cultural issue than it's a psychological issue, like when you think about things like attention deficit disorder. Well, most of ADHD comes from this culture. It's cultural disease, like diabetes, like these are cultural diseases that come from our way of life. So attention deficit disorder is pretty much also a cultural disease. It's just hard to see it when you are inside the box and you are living the cultured life. Then you just cannot see how it is. So in this video I'm going to tell you everything I know about focus, about attention, about how to develop it, and all this. So we might start at the beginning. Everything starts with attention in the mind. The mind is like it can take a certain amount of stimulation. Stimulation or stimuli or something. It's that thing that vibrates the mind. So if there's too much vibration, like if you are constantly bombarded by stimulation, like all this shit that is part of human, like part of modern life, like drugs and alcohol and television and mass media and all this. This is all the bullshit that you have to get rid of if you want to gain amazing ability to focus. So the mind wants to be stimulated. So when you give it stimulation, it wants more stimulation, and you get bored more easily. And then you try to fix that boredom by creating more stimulation and more, and this doesn't actually fix your issue, it deepens the issue. It's like an addiction. You are addicted to distraction. So that's the starting point. You are addicted to distraction. So how do you fix this? Well, you start to minimize the amount of distraction you have in your life, and you start to minimize the amount of stimulation you have in your life. So things like so what would I include in this category? Well, of course, like drugs, like these are the most stimulating stuff on the planet. Then technology, especially smartphones. If you want to be focused, you have to pretty much get rid of your smartphone. Smartphones are fucking stupid, most stupid invention in the history of humankind, because first of all they keep you in you pretty much cannot gain good depth of focus never if you use a smartphone, because it interrupts you every fucking half an hour or something like that. So So smartphones are the first thing you pretty much have to get rid of if you want to have an amazing ability to focus. Well, the next thing is mass media and entertainment. Entertainment is like fucking bad because it's also one of those things that like diverts your attention to somewhere that is not really important. It doesn't really help you if you want to have focus. Then entertainment is like it doesn't help you. Then if we think about focus in a more broad sense, like if you want to cultivate focus, then meditation is the key, because meditation is about focus when there's nothing to focus about. When you develop your focus when there's nothing to focus about, you start to see how your mind works, and you start to see how your mind tries to divert you from focusing on the important things. And if you are not in focusing on the important things, you are focusing on the less important things. So meditation is fucking important in this sense. But we have to go even deeper into this issue and start to see that even things like human relationships can be really distracting, and if you have an Asperger's syndrome or something, you have an high leverage on this issue, because you pretty much know this, that human interaction can be a huge distraction from the most important things, and you really should like think about your relationships. Are they more of a distraction, or do you gain something from them? So and when I talk about relationships, that of course ties into technology, because technology and relationships are so tied together today. So if you cut one from your life, like if you if you want to focus, if you have something that you want to focus on, like if you're an artist, like if you are a musician, if you are a writer, if you are a programmer or anything, if you want to focus on your work, then well, it's about priority, like what is more important. For me, it's what I do is most important, like everything comes second to that. It's pretty harsh attitude to live by, but it's the only attitude that works in this modern life, where there's so much stuff that can get you like hooked, and in the end it's pretty empty. They are empty distractions, like they don't fulfill you in the end. So that's that. So if we go back to meditation like focuses your mind on one point, but you also start to see that focus is much more about how can you like stand your mind's bombardment of thought and keep focused on the thing that you are doing. And focus is also about lie detection. Lie detection. If you can detect your own mind's lies, you can not get distracted by things in the outside world. So these are few things I have thought about. Then there's of course the what you eat. What you eat changes your ability to focus a lot. Like refined sugar it's so, like when you start to see how refined sugar keeps your mind prone to distraction, you start to realize why it's so why it's so marketed, because without refined sugar you become distraction resilient, and if you become distraction resilient, you are not so good for the marketplace that wants you sell that wants you keep you stupid and sell you shit all the time. So that's that about refined sugar, and this is also one thing that you should fucking get rid of from your life. It doesn't help you, and it fucks up your system and ability to focus. So you are starting to probably see I'm talking pretty much about random things, but these all contribute to a whole. And that whole is your ability to focus. Like you could think about this as something like weightlifting. If you don't eat the right food, weightlifting is not going to benefit you that much. If you eat the right food and don't do weightlifting, well, you are not going to get the gains that way also. So the right way is to do both. You have to do the training, and you have to have the proper diet. So here it's the same thing. You have to do the training. For me, it's my work that I do, and meditation and all that. That's how I do training. But then the right food. What is the right food for focus? Well, I think the right food for focus is like proper information. Like read books. Like books help you focus, like develop your focus, because with books you are not like reading little snippets from the internet. Like it's much deeper. You start to build your like understanding capabilities. Like reading little pieces of information from the internet doesn't help you understand things. It more like gives you tons of trivia that doesn't really matter. So getting the proper information from the world is the key. Whatever your occupation is that you want to develop your focus in, well, you should of course study that occupation more. But it's also important that if you want to gain amazing ability to focus, then drop like doing something that is more high level, that like develops your mind. Like in the book Science of Enlightenment by Shinzen Young, he talks about the base level of focus, and why the base level of focus develops everything else with it. And this is why meditation is really important, because if your base level of focus is high, then you can more easily focus on everything else. And for example, when I like, it's easy to focus on the ease. It's easy to focus when you have the flow. When you have the flow is something really important to investigate also. You should investigate flow a lot, like how you get in the flow. What is trance? What is hypnosis? What are all these things? Because these things are really important for focus because the thinking mind, you sometimes, it depends on the activity you are doing. If you are a writer, you have to have the thinking mind. But if you are like an artist, like a musician, the thinking mind doesn't really help you. You have to tap into that right brain, and that's much harder. That's much harder. So the flow, how you get into the flow. The flow happens when you like break the current or something. The mind has a certain current that goes in a certain direction. Like most of the time there are ways to like reverse this current, and I'm going to talk about these also in this video, but not at the moment. There's a flow to our mind, and it goes in a certain direction. There's a current, and that's the current of the mind. But then there's you, and you step into the flow. And the flow, how you step into the flow, if it goes against you, the ability to focus is your power to go against the stream, or push against the flow, the reverse flow of the current that wants you take in the direction of distraction. So you push against it, and then your ability to focus hones itself. Like you can notice this by your mind saying things. This happens in the verbal mind. So when you start to do something that requires focus, your mind might complain something along these lines. This is boring, I can't do this, I'm not in the mood, or something like that. And your ability to just fucking do it and go against the stream in this sense determines if you are going to accomplish something on that day or not. It's resistance, and the power that you gain from doing the stuff that you do like doesn't decrease the resistance. It increases your power to go against the resistance. It's like a muscle. So it's the same thing in weightlifting. When you lift and when you eat the proper food, your ability to lift more and more weights increases all the time. So the weight doesn't decrease, your power increases. And this is one way to do it. And this is the main way to do it. But I'm going to talk about how there are some ways that reverse the current in the mind, and this is really important. And here sexuality comes into play in a big way. So sexual energy. So if you don't waste your sexual energy, if you practice celibacy or something, when you are doing something that requires focus. I think that celibacy and controlling your sexual energy and channeling it to other pursuits reverses the current of the mind. Like it reverses the current, so you can go with the flow to the flow, and the flow will be in the direction of the focus. And if you are, and that helps you immensely. This is one tool also for gaining a better focus, controlling your sexual energy and not wasting it. Well, this is a big price to pay. If you think about what I have been saying this far, it applies to everything that's like enjoyable and fun and easy fun, like sex, drugs, friendships, and human interaction, and social media, technology, all entertainment, all this bullshit that governs some people's lives, like totally, like their life is totally in distraction. Like they don't do anything that's not distracting. Like if they have a job, well, they work in a company that's also a fucking distraction, like McDonald's or Starbucks or something. That's those companies are also fucking distraction, and they produce distraction for the distracted masses that want to be more and more distracted, so they don't have to feel, so they don't have to develop themselves, so they don't have to do anything real in the life. They just live the dead life. And I don't have anything against these people. They are just fucking stupid, and they don't know what is really possible in this life. So that's why I want to do this video, and these are the keys that you have to implement in your life if you want to have a certain level of focus. So that's that. And I hope you are starting to see my point, that your mind waits for the certain level of stimulation from the world, and that amount of stimulation you get and the like, how can I say it, the type of stimulation, what it is it intellectually stimulating, like reading books about subjects like history, like religion, like anything, it's intellectually stimulating. But there are things that are not intellectually stimulating, like music doesn't intellectually stimulate, but it's stimulating in other ways. And about music I have to say that I'm not really going to like hamper on music too much, because I think that when it comes to non-thinking creativity, like non-thinking creativity, then music, like for me, example, when I paint, I like to listen to music because it really influences the stuff that I do, and like I think that it keeps me focused on the stuff that I do. But when it comes to writing, I cannot really listen to music when I do writing. Like sometimes I can, but most of the times it breaks my ability to think like more deeply. When you are a writer or philosopher or something like it's really important to have the thinking mind in the proper condition and have that have no distractions around you. It's really important. So what have we said so far? There are distracting elements in the world. In the world, you have to have something you want to focus on. So you have a motivator to do all this stuff. Like if you think about how long it takes to implement all this shit. Like I have done this project that I have had so far. It has taken me like years to get rid of all the bullshit like it has taken, and to take the technology that I use in my control so that it doesn't use me. I use technology, it doesn't use me. So it's really important to understand the way how social media, for example, works and keeps you hooked. If you want to read about this subject, there's a book called Hooked by Near Yal or something. It's really good about how to build products that keep you hooked on the product. Like YouTube is a huge distraction. It's a huge distraction, and that's because the UI is built to distract you. But YouTube in itself is not a distraction. Like it can be used for non-distracting purposes, but you have to like not use the UI, the web UI for that like it's YouTube is there's just too much stuff on there to like it just becomes a distraction at some point. So here are some things about focus. Then I want to talk about if you do something, what is the like this comes to time management more about how you like can use your time to do certain intervals of activity. I think this is important for focus. Like the goal here is to do the stuff that you want to develop in a certain intervals of time so you remove all distraction. Like if you still want to keep your smartphone, like I could say, if you want to be a writer in the modern age, like get rid of your smartphone, it fucking ruins your work. But if you still want to keep those shitty devices, then you should create the space of non-distraction and time your activity in the space of non-distraction. So it's really important to just focus on one thing at a time. Like the multitasking stuff, it's all bullshit. Humans cannot multitask. Humans cannot focus on many things at a time. They can focus on many shallow things at a time, but if you want to achieve something that has depth, that has really something like that is something never seen before, there has to be depth to your focus, and that comes only through of doing one thing at a time. So here this is important. Like I do it this way. I do 1 hour at a time everything I do. Like the stuff that I want to develop. I do it that way because when I start the hour, I make the commitment of doing the hour. I don't commit to anything else. I don't commit to 10 years of work or something. I don't commit to anything like that. I commit to that 1 hour of doing just that thing and nothing else. And that really helps, because if you do just one thing at a time, and you commit to it for a certain time, it keeps you more easily focused. But because when when your mind wants to think about diverting your attentions to something else, you can think about, well, I can do it in when like half an hour, and your mind is like, well, half an hour, it sounds pretty good, and then it doesn't distract you anymore with distracting thoughts, because you have committed to that hour. But if you don't have the commitment, when you are hit by the distracting thought, you might start to like argue with it, and this way of doing stuff circumvents the arguments in your mind. It's all about, you are starting to probably see, it's all about the mind. Like attention and activity and focus and productivity, it's all mind games. You really have to start to understand your psychology and how the mind works if you want to accomplish something, because the mind throws at you all kinds of stuff all the time, like filming this video for me. Like I thought about, like I could do some fiction writing today, but I started to think that maybe I'm going to film a video first, and then I thought, is this a distraction? I'm going to talk about distractions on YouTube in a video, and how to not get distracted. But is that a distraction for me? And here comes the gray area of distraction. Like you have to really start to question, is what I'm doing a distraction, or is it the most important thing? Well, if I'm going to think about this, well, I could say that even the fiction writing is a certain kind of distraction from something else. If I think about what's my highest priority in life, it's probably enlightenment, where like meditation. But the reason I do meditation so much is because it develops my focus to focus on other stuff, so it becomes like a whole. So what have we talked about so far? We have talked about distractions in the world, distractions in the mind, how the mind works, the current of the mind, the sexuality and sexual energy in how it affects focus and attention. We have talked about the relationships and how they can be distracting. We have talked about technology and social media and UIs that distract you, and we have talked about all these kinds of time management. Is there anything else to talk about focus? talk about focus. Well, you could say that it's really about resistance. The resistance of your mind to doing something that you know that is going to benefit you, but it just has that you have to push through it. You have to push through it to accomplish something, and most people, I think, focus on the stuff that they want to do too much, and they ignore the mind component, that like the inner game of this whole thing, because the inner game affects how you do stuff so much. It's really important to get this going for you, so you can start to get something done. So, well, lasting or maybe lasting, I don't yet know, but I want to talk about this, like how the mind, I don't have this problem because I think I have an Asperger's syndrome or something, because I don't really care about social interaction. This gives me a certain edge in this like loneliness, like it develops me, like it like being alone has benefited my work so much that I don't really even care about human interaction anymore, but there's this like how can I say, some people want to know what goes in the world. Like if you think about mass media, like news, for example. News are a huge fucking distraction. Some people say it's important, but if you really think about it, what's important about it? Millions of people like follow the news every day. Like, why do so many people do the same thing all the time? This doesn't benefit the planet at all. Like focusing outwards to the world. It like there's this idea that if you want the world, you are going to have to give up your life. So what's your decision? Are you going with the world? Are you going with the distracted masses, the distracted sheep that want that live the empty life, or are you going to your own direction, ignoring the world, ignoring the people around you, and ignoring all that bullshit to do something that is different? And this is the decision. And for someone like me, that I think I have an Asperger's syndrome or something, it's an easy decision. I don't care about the world. I don't care about people. I don't care about any of this shit. So this is easy for me. But for someone that cares, it's not an easy decision to cut all this stuff from the life. But that's the way to do it. If you have a distracting elements in your life, like shitty relationships, distracting technology, social media, shitty food, video games. That's a huge distraction. Like video games, it's like it becomes like I used to be a huge gamer. Like I played all the fucking games. Then I just stopped. I became so disenchanted from gaming. I realized that how fucking empty it is in the end, and how it blinds to your own state of being. Like you cannot even feel anything if you are a hardcore gamer. Like it devoids you of humanity pretty much. Video games are huge fucking distraction, and that's one of the first things that food, video games, drugs. These are so distracting. These are so fucking distracting. Like maybe if we think about this more now, if we think about the hierarchy of distraction in your life, you should look at the most distracting components first. These would be probably like really dysfunctional relationships, drugs, substances, and maybe video games, because they take so much time, and then maybe entertainment. Like you should go from the worst to the least, and then your ability to focus develops like a pyramid. Like you are literally building a pyramid here if you want to gain this kind of focus that I'm talking about. You have to think about it building. You have to think about it like you are building a pyramid. Like you start from the foundation, and you have your pyramid upside down at the moment. So you have to you have to decompose it and then build another one that is better and rise from the ashes as we speak. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about focus. I hope this video helped you to understand that this is a huge issue in the world. Diagnosis like ADHD is not necessarily a problem with the brain. Well, it is if all this stuff changes the brain, so it is a problem with the brain, but that problem is culturally implanted into you, and you can reverse this process by becoming conscious of the world we are living in and the traps that are in this world, and becoming disenchanted with the world and its ways that are bullshit. So I hope someone got something out of this, and I'm probably not going to name this video how to get superhuman ability to focus, or how to get superhuman attention. Well, how to get superhuman ability to focus is much better, so I'm going to name this that. Thanks for watching, and I have a English playlist on my channel called In English, that has all my English videos. I try to do these informational videos in English, but but all the rest of my stuff is in Finnish because I just cannot verbalize the stuff that I do in English. But that's that. Thanks for watching.